I pushed that.
Okay.
I pushed this button. I
Hi,
pushed
everybody.
that button. And I pushed this button. And we are here. So I didn't put a
Hi,
notice
everybody.
on. Did you put a notice on live? Because I didn't.
No, because I've been talking to you.
On Facebook, I
Okay, let
meant.
me. I'll go over there real quick.
Okay. So,
Uh,
hey, everybody.
uh.
So
Hey,
it's good
everybody.
to
How
see
y'all doing today?
everybody. And it's
We
a
haven't put a
beautiful
notice up
day.
yet. We'll get there. Oh, it's beautifully snowing here.
Hey, everybody. It's
You got snow.
actually snowing there. Yes, Joe. I'm getting that liquid snow here.
Well, that's well. Well, this is like sleety. You know what I mean? So it's almost kind of.
I don't know if you could see it or not. We'll open the window. No,
We're
I don't
supposed to get
think you
like
can.
4 inches.
4 inches?
We're supposed to get like 4 inches. Yeah, but it's not going to be. You know, it's not going to stick. I don't think. Well, it's starting to stick a little bit, but you know, I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, it might stick.
I was kind of hoping to have school this morning, so I wouldn't have to take her. She did. Like, dang it.
Dang it.
Let's see here. I'm still trying to get to the Facebook. Oh, here we go. Oh,
So
live
all the
now.
all the things that we want to talk
On.
about today, we're kind of hanging out for just a second. Good morning, Miss Bethany. Nice to see you.
Hey, Bethany.
Kind of
Yeah,
letting people get over here before we get good and started.
I'm going to tag Chris Hanks.
Here
There
I
we go.
is. Here I is.
Okay, I posted that. I
Phew.
just got to find where we're at.
It's been
I'm
crazy
going to
this
exit,
morning.
go back in something else.
Uh-huh.
I'm still on Zoom somewhere.
I closed Zoom. Oh, no, you were on Zoom. I wasn't on Zoom. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
we're in broadcast through Facebook, maybe. Yeah, there we go.
it's all good,
Okay, there I
brother.
am.
It's all
I
good.
had to figure out which medium was
It's
real.
all
You know what I
good.
mean?
It's all good.
Cool.
So
Oh,
I like your vest. That looks warm.
thank you. I love this. It is warm. It's nice and toasty.
Hmm. Well, my arms always get
Yeah, I've
hot,
got all.
and I'm one of those people that can't drive with a coat on. And I used to have
Yeah.
A Carhartt zip up vest, and I loved
Mm-hmm.
it.
Hey, man, they're
And for
great.
some reason, it got ruined. I don't know why or what happened to it, but it's gone.
How would you
And
ruin a Carhartt?
I
Last
missed
forever.
it. I miss it desperately. I think I got like I think I got something like motor oil or something all over the front of it.
Yeah,
And I was like, I'm not wearing that.
yeah, yeah. I hear you.
So
What
I
they
had
do
a
get you
black
for
one for good wear, right? So I had a black one for good wear, and I had the normal brown, whatever color it is,
Yeah.
camel.
They call it
Uh,
duck, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
and I enjoyed it. And of course, I didn't get the oil on the black one. I got the oil on the other one. But the odd thing is that they're both gone. Oh, I know where they went. When I moved to Florida, I got rid of that stuff. Who needs big
Oh, yeah.
coats in Florida?
Who needs big coats? Yeah, you don't need one. I
Don't
don't
need
know.
it. Don't need it.
I've got a lot more winter clothes than I do summer, actually, because summers I just wear well, I'm not counting t-shirts, but
Right.
I got a lot of winter stuff. I really do. Like I got all kinds of insulated pants, and I don't like being cold, but I was working outside too.
Right.
I mean, I was doing construction, so I got a lot of stuff that keeps you
Exactly.
warm. I mean,
Exactly.
real warm. But
So, Joe,
it's not doing that
today
anymore.
is Monday,
Oh,
and
Chris.
I've been out
Hey, Bethany.
dadpreneuring and doing a whole lot of stuff this morning, and haven't really
Right.
been online this morning. I jumped on long enough to put up a coffee post real quick. Um,
Yeah.
and yesterday, I didn't do social media at all yesterday, except from this, which was really kind of nice. I checked in once or twice, made a few posts. That was it. I'm really trying to do the Sunday cleanse thing, and I don't know that it's really a cleanse. It's more of a um, uh, detachment, right? Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, my son, and this is kind of personal, but I'm going to share the day because it's Monday and I just feel like sharing. So my son told my best friend that I'm always in
Mm-hmm.
front of my computer screen, right? And I got to thinking about that because I make him earn his iPad time, and He doesn't have a phone yet. Yes, he's 9 years old and does not have a cell phone. And he's probably going to be 12 and not have a cell phone, okay? Just to be clear. But at any rate, hey, Miss Patty,
Yeah.
um,
Hey, man.
I got to thinking about it. I sat him down there at my best friend's house, right? And I said, son, do you realize that most people get up in the morning and they get their kids up in the morning and they drop their kids off at school and then they leave school and they go to a job somewhere and then they don't get to come home till 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night? I said, Daddy works from home. It's different. And so
Right.
I have been setting some hours and stuff, and and he doesn't see the things that I see. For instance, when he comes in at 3, and you know this, Joe, Bethany, you know too.
Yeah.
When he comes in at 3 o'clock, basically the world stops. I don't care how many meetings need to be had or what's going on. I've got to do homework with my son, right? And his homework could be anywhere from 45 minutes to 3 hours, depends on his mood. Okay. So, he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that all during the day between meetings and stuff, I'm vacuuming the house and mopping the house, doing laundry, putting his clothes away, washing his sheets and his blankets and stuff. And he comes home to a fresh made bed. He doesn't see any of that stuff. Right. So to him, it looks
Right.
like I'm always in front of the screen. And so I had to have that conversation with him, and I love him to death, but at some point, you've got to also realize that they're 9 years old, and you have to take what they say into consideration, because he wasn't being derogatory. He didn't say that we weren't spending time together and having fun or anything like that. He just says my dad sits in front of his computer a lot, and I was like, gee whiz, I hope he doesn't go to school and tell everybody that, right? So, but he also doesn't realize that I'm
Yeah.
trying to get several businesses up and running to where, I've got a 5-year plan. When he turns 14, I'm going to be sitting back 5-10 hours a day. That's it. Week, sorry, 5-10 hours a week. He doesn't see that. So, but what I want to talk about today, Joe, I want to talk a little bit about business. Can we talk about business today a little bit?
That's what I was going to ask you something actually about business.
Okay, perfect. Ask me.
How's the wellness doing?
Wellness is good.
Are
You know,
RVMs doing well and everything?
the wellness is good. The RVMs are doing very well. Um, the the thing that is in process at this moment in time with the RVMs and stuff is actually testing the market on the copy. So, in other words, the percentage of response is high, right? Really high. But we're tweaking the copy just a little bit here and there. And the reason we're doing that is because even though the response is high, when you get to the person on the other end, right? Because you got to call these people back. I mean, it's not as simple as you run an RVM and run an SMS. The next thing you know, they're in your business. That's not how it works. So when we're calling these people back, a lot of these people aren't as qualified and or the type of people that we're looking for. So we're tweaking the copy just a little bit so that we draw a different group of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're kind of cleaning
Cleaning it up. Absolutely.
You're cleaning
I think by the end of the week,
You're fine-tuning your thing.
yes.
Um,
I think by the end of the week, we should have some really good copy. This new copy
you
that
guys are round robbing it, aren't you?
yes, this new copy that we just put out is basically a drip.
Mhm.
Okay, so it goes a little something like, and I don't know exactly, so don't quote me on this, but it goes a little something about: are you tired of failing in your business, in your home-based business? Would you like to know the 4 main reasons why most home-based businesses fail? If so, click yes. So then when they click
Right.
yes, you give them the first reason it fails, right? You don't give them the whole answer, just give them the first reason. And what we're trying to do is create that rapport, okay, is get inside of their heads. And so, you give them the first one, and then a few hours later, you might give them the second one, and they have the option to opt out or ask for more. So that's kind of how it goes. And then by the time they get to the fourth one, we should be making that phone call, and that fourth one should be, hey, this all sounds really good. Let's go.
Are you guys doing SMS or emails?
Both. No email. No email.
No, SMS. Okay, so it's just text. And so they go, yes, I want to know on the text, and then boom, boom, boom. And you got an autoresponder, or are you texting them back?
Nope.
Got an autoresponder?
All automated. Everything's automated.
Autoresponder. Oh, yep. That's good. There you go. That's pretty cool. I'd go ahead and send them to the website and help them sign up.
So
put a little instruction video in, like, sign up. I go sell this shit.
You like it real good. Here you go.
Like, okay, cool.
So
I'm busy.
I want to
order.
I want to talk about business. There's two things today I want to talk about business, and I really want everybody to get this message today. Okay, so if you got pen and paper, I would suggest that you take notes. If you've got questions after the live, please get with us. But there's two things about business I want to talk about today. First and foremost is the giving aspect of business. Okay. So the giving aspect of business. What is the giving aspect of business? Everything you do, every single thing that you do that does not result in reciprocity, that's the giving, okay? That's the giving. And so a few examples of those are, for instance, right now there's a handful of us that just started a new project called Uganda Rising, okay? There is no reciprocity in this. This is a let's help those who have no possible way of ever repaying us. Why? Because that's what we do. That's the giving. Okay, that's the part of life that makes it worth living. Okay, so I use that just as an example. I'm not saying you guys have to do that. I'm just saying that's a real world example that we're in the middle of right now. All right. So then there's some other things that maybe there's maybe one of your flock is having a bad day, and you can tell they're having a bad day. So you spend 30 minutes with them on the phone or a Zoom, okay? And you pick them up and you help them realize that everybody has these type of days, okay? That we're all going to have these valleys, and you're there for that person. Guess what? That person can never repay you for the way you make them feel. Notice I use the word feel, okay? Business needs to be more about feeling and less about doing, okay? Less about doing. Why? It doesn't matter if you build Apple. If you don't feel good about it at the end of the day, right? What have you created? You've created nothing more than a monster, okay? You have created something that maybe is creating you a large amount of wealth, but wealth without quality of life isn't worth a whole lot, okay? So you want to be rich and wealthy. See the two hands? Rich and wealthy. There is a difference. If you don't know the difference, I would suggest you pull out your handy dandy dictionary and compare the two words, okay? Because really, we need, yes, exactly, Webster. Good old Mr. Webster. We need to understand this. Like, over the weekend, I really had a lot of time to reflect and a lot of time to think and research and study on the businesses that I'm doing. And through that study, I also realized that, our businesses will grow better, faster, more amicably, more enjoyably, all these things, right? If we are rich and wealthy, okay? So I get people all the time that tell me, I just want to be rich, Chris. Okay, well, let me just tell you something. Being rich without being wealthy is a miserable place to be, okay? I've been there, done that a couple times. All right. And yes, in the beginning, when you've got all that money and you can buy anything you want and go anywhere you want and do anything you want and have anything you want, yeah, it's kind of cool at first. But then what happens is you get tired, right? Because you're alone, for number one. because any friend that comes around wants something, so you have to weed those out like you're weeding a garden. And by the time you get done weeding, you ain't got nobody because they all want something. Trust me. Okay? If you don't carry your friends with you, listen to me carefully. If you don't carry your friends with you from now, before you make it big, any friends that you make after you make it big, they only see dollar signs. Trust me. Okay?
That's right.
So,
That is,
Joe, you wanna jump in here and elaborate on that a little bit before I go to the second thing I want to talk about today?
yeah, don't ever buy a dictionary at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Rich wasn't even in there.
Really? For real?
There wasn't.
Are you gonna be
There
a
wasn't
second?
a
I'm gonna
word
get
that
coffee.
R-I-C.
Okay.
Oh, I want to be a second. This is ridiculous.
Okay, you go.
What the hell? You get what you pay for, guys. I'm telling you. That's crazy, though. I can't believe Rich wasn't in there. Well, anyways, I guess you're supposed to know what that is. Yeah, and that's the thing. What he's talking about is, in business, we're doing things to make money. But then in life, we do things to help. And in business, we do things to help too. But if you can find kind of a happy medium there, where you can do something good and it can become prosperous for all, hey, do it. You know what I mean? And, you'll get a lot of people that go, oh, that's terrible. You're just trying to figure out a way to do this and do this and do this. Gloria gives me a hard time all the time. I'm figuring out all the things Uganda needs. And I'm like, hey, they need this. They need this. They need this. They need this. I mean, the whole country. So I'm like, why aren't these things being done? Well, because nobody's doing it. That's why. The Chinese are huge right now, and that in that part of Africa, the continent, Nairobi, Kenya, Nairobi isn't Kenya, but Nigeria, Kenya. I don't think they got their hooks in Uganda yet. So much I haven't seen, but these are things, and you're looking at, I was watching something last night, and I was like, well, you know what really opened up America? Chris, do you know what really opened up America?
Hey, buddy.
I gotta ask Chris this. Chris, do you know what really opened up America?
Tell me.
The railroad.
Yeah.
The railroad.
Absolutely.
So all of a sudden, the coasts were linked. You could ship things everywhere. So I was talking to Gloria last night, and I was like, you know what? They need railroad. Period. And she was like, seriously? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, how in the hell are you even thinking about trying to build a railroad? I was like, I don't know, but nobody asked Commodore Vanderbilt that. Well, I'm sure they did, and he did it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sorry, but, these are things, and I know this is crazy, but I'm not going to build a railroad for free. Well, I mean? I'm not even going to look into it.
Have you ever been to the Biltmore? Hi. Have you ever been to the Biltmore State?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. When I think true wealth, right? Now that's the epitome of rich. The Biltmore Estate is the epitome of rich. Now, what's really important here is I'm going to tie this to exactly what you were saying. And notice I was gone most of the time. But
I know
Vanderbilt was rich and he was wealthy. And why was he rich and wealthy? Well, because he had ideas, and he took the people that he loved and cared about and that loved and cared about him, he took them with him. So, yes, he was a very wealthy man. He was a very rich man. But at the end of the day, he also made a lot of other people very rich and wealthy. Okay? So, you have to realize that those are things that can and do happen in real life circumstances, right? Sorry, really Joe, I had to just bring that out for a second.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, but that's the thing. That's from just doing it. When there was nothing there, someone needed to do it. So someone needed to talk to somebody to get the ball rolling.
Right.
Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Well, how are you going to get the steel there? I don't know. Maybe you build a foundry. How do you do that? You start a big fire. You build a building, you start a big fire. You get some ceramics shipped up. You know what I mean? I mean, these are all the things. Is how do you dig a pond in your backyard? You get a shovel.
You dig a hole.
But
Dig a
how are you
hole.
ever going to stock a pond with fish? Fish appear in water. You're like, it's not Darwin. You know what I mean? We're not going to wait. It's like you go get some fish and stick them in there and just wait a little while.
And
Them
you feed
fishies, they
them.
like doing it too.
And you
They make
feed
other
them.
fish.
You just keep feeding them.
Yeah, feed them. Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing, and this is where my brain goes way. You know what I mean? And I see everything way out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy anyways. You know what I mean? But I see myself rich. And I'm not. You know what I mean? But all the things that I have plans that I'm working on in my head, this and this and this, and the things that I'm working on paper, and the things that I'm working on the internet, I project myself into them. I'm living a life daily with that being done. I see all this. I see the finalities to it. Or not the finalities because I don't want them to end. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make that mistake that all I'm asking for is $1 million. I don't want $1 million, guys. Frankly, it's not enough. Just to be honest with you, and I know that sounds horrible. You know what I mean? But not when, if I move a few states over to another state or something, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house is $300,000. You know what I mean? For something that's not, it's just a regular old house. You know what I mean? That's, guys, a new Chevy pickup right now is about $60,000.
Right.
For, a nice Silverado, like the one that you want to buy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you can go buy one for $25,000 work truck. You know what I mean? But it's not, you know what I mean? But still, it's $25,000. That's a lot of money.
Well, and pause for just a second.
Yep.
Pause for just a second. Because this is important too. Again, rich and wealth. Okay, so Joe said, and I just want to put this into perspective for you guys, okay? Joe said $1 million's not enough, and I shook my head and agreed. Why? Okay, it's very, very simple. When you teach people true wealth, true freedom, true liberty, if you don't know the definition of liberty, look it up. Just don't use the dollar store dictionary. It might not be in there. But I'm just picking. So if you want true liberty, true liberty is not owing anybody anything in the world. Okay? Now, for someone who already has liberty, already has wealth, it can be hard sometimes for those people to set a goal or to set some type of a blueprint or a plan to get to success because they're already successful, okay? In their own mind, in their own right, they're already successful. So what happens is the second part of what we're going to talk about, and I'm not going to give it away in a minute, but what happens is they have to take a bigger step than most people, okay? They have to take a real big step, all right? So, $1 million, I remember when I was a child, okay? I remember when I was a child, and I knew some millionaires. Now, you wouldn't have known they were millionaires because where I grew up and where I came from, we were just a little bitty small town with about 300 and something people, right? And so the funny part about that is that those people were rich. They were millionaires many times over, and no one knew it, okay? Because they didn't flaunt it,
right.
Number one. Number two, they didn't live outside of normal, everyday means, right? Okay, so maybe they lived on the river instead of up top the hill. Well, that was just a difference in where they chose to have their house, okay? Because where we lived, it wasn't really a big deal to live on the river, So what I want to say is that, we have to make sure that people understand that $1 million, y'all, that's nothing. Today, that's nothing. That is nothing. Where our parents and our grandparents were striving to be millionaires. That was what they were working towards. If you're 50 or under, you need to be striving for billionaire status. Okay? Because that's going to give you true liberty. All right? Millionaire status, it ain't going to work. It just ain't. And the reason is, and yes, I used the word ain't, the reason is because it's up to us that understand liberty and wealth and freedom to teach folks to, you don't go buy, all right, let's say you go and you won $1.2 or 1.2 million. Sorry, I couldn't get that out. Let's just say you won it, right? In the lottery. All right. You don't go mortgage a $2.5 million house just because you got $1.2 million in the bank because you just won the lottery. Okay? You don't do that. You figure out, right? You figure out, okay, where you want to be, right? Where do you want to be? What part of the country? What part of the world? What do you want to live in? Do you want to live in an RV that you drive anywhere in the world and you change your surroundings at will? Do you want to live in a house, on a lake? Do you want to live at the beach? You figure out where you want to live. You find what suits your family. Okay, that's very important. What suits your family? All right. If you've got 2 kids, then you probably need a 3, maybe 4. I wouldn't look at you funny if you got a 4-bedroom house, okay? Because the in-laws, the grandparents might want to come and stay overnight or something. We don't want to put them on the floor, right? And they ain't getting my bed. I hate it. No. They ain't getting my bed. So, but you find that house.
I tell everybody how much.
Right? Whatever it is, however much that house is, you don't mortgage it. You pay for it. Now, there are a whole lot of people out there that will argue with me. Okay? They will argue with me and they'll say, "Oh, Chris, you got to have all these loopholes and the taxes and the this and the that and the other." I'm here to tell you, there ain't never been a tax man come knocked on somebody's door whose house was paid for and said, "We're taking your house away because you missed a payment." Okay? No. Look, my grandfather was old when I was young. Okay? My grandfather was old when I was young. I'm his namesake. I was the 4th, by the way, y'all. CBH the 4th. Okay?
Are you the 4th?
I am. And it was passed down. And I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. And my grandfather, it was always, 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 if you want it, you got to have enough money in your pocket to pay for it. If you ain't got enough money in your pocket to pay for it, you don't need it. Keep walking. Keep walking. Make some more money. Okay? When my grandfather died, it's been 9 years or so ago, okay, Grandma inherited several $1 million estate. Okay? None of us, there were 26 grandchildren, 6 children, and 14 great-grandchildren. And none of us, not one of us, knew that they were millionaires. Okay? They didn't act like it.
Right.
All right? They didn't flaunt it. Okay? Christmas came around every year. All us grandkids knew what we were getting from Grandma for Christmas every single year. From the time I can remember all the way up till I was an adult. We got a pair of brand new Levi jeans. That's what Grandma's getting you. Period. Good year, bad year, don't matter. You're getting jeans. That's it. Right? Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's kind of cheesy because they had plenty of money. Why didn't they give you, flying helicopters with remote controls and all that stuff? No. We worked in the hayfield. Summer came around and you were at Grandma and Grandpa's house. It was time to get the hay up. You went, got your ass out there and got the hay up. I'm allergic to hay. Who was in the hayfield? Me.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, that sucks.
Because that's how our family operated. All right. Now, that sounds ridiculous. Okay. And when Grandma died, God love her, we were able to keep Grandma at home her entire life. That was her one and only wish. We were able to keep her there. And I thank my aunts for that every day. because she got to live out her life at home. Now, Grandma had a brain aneurysm, and it was inoperable, and it caused my grandmother. My grandmother was a very special woman, and I don't say that because she was my grandmother, but I say that because no matter how mad she got, you never heard a cuss word come out of that woman's mouth. Okay? Now, she might say she hoped your legs grow together and you drown in the bathtub. And that was her way of being really angry. Okay? But when she got that aneurysm, y'all, she went to cussing and raising all kind of hell. And then she lost her voice and she couldn't talk. Okay? And it was sad, but we were able to keep her at home. When she died, there was still a $3.75 million estate, okay, left behind. Now, we spent a lot of money keeping Grandma at home. We paid a lot of nurses very good money to be on the clock, around the clock, 24/7 at home, okay? But that's okay because they made the money. It didn't matter, all right? That's what you call liberty.
Yeah.
That's what you call wealth. That's what you call true riches, y'all. When you and they owed nobody nothing, mind you, when he died and she died, they didn't owe the first person one penny. Grandma got a new car every other year. Grandpa got a new truck every 3 years.
Yeah.
Tractors, farm, animals, equipment, all paid for. Okay? So, and I get the goosies because that's true wealth, y'all. That is true wealth, okay? The government owed them every year. They didn't owe the government nothing, okay? So it's all in how you play it. It's all in how you work it. But you never, ever, ever say, I'm going to spend this money that I got, and I'm going to mortgage everything I got, and I'm going to have a Bentley, and I'm going to have a Hummer, and I'm going to have a helicopter and a helipad and a $2 million home. You know what? You've outspent yourself. You can't make the payments on that shit. Okay? That is not wealth. That's why $1 million is not enough. I know, right? $1 million is not enough. I've been a millionaire. It's not enough. It is not enough. On paper, you could be a millionaire on paper really, really easy, y'all. Really, really easy. Okay? So now that status has lost its appeal. Okay? Now, we're at 2:34 and we haven't hit the second thing on business today yet. So, Joe, you got anything you want to add before I jump over on that second thing?
Just my normal everyday thing I say every day. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do it. And, hey, just because something's not being done, there's a good chance it's not being done because nobody's tried.
Right.
Nobody's made the phone call.
Right.
And think about this. You may be the only person out there, and I'm going to say a curse word, but you may be the only person out there that gives a shit about what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? You may be the only person that you even know that cares about any people you're trying to help. You know what I mean? So think about it like that. You know, but okay, go into the next one.
And, you know, before I go to the next one, I just want to pause right here and tell everybody to thank themselves. Congratulate yourselves because you have a desire and you're working towards that desire. Okay? So everybody celebrate your victory because you are victorious. Now, everybody gets hung up on the big picture and they say, I can't celebrate. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Well, I'm going to tell you, knock it down into bite-sized pieces. Okay? And every time you swallow a bite, celebrate. Yeah. It's going to get easier, y'all. It's going to get easier. That's how you eat the elephant, by the way. One bite at a time. Okay? So the second thing I want to talk about in business today is if you're in business for yourself, even if it's a part-time business, okay? If you're in business for yourself, you have got to connect with your why, okay? Now, I know there are books on why, there are seminars on why, there's a whole bunch of shit out there that you can go pay for, all right, on the why. But I'm going to break it down for you real easy.
We can just tell you.
Okay? I'm going to break it down for you
for free.
real easy, and it ain't going to cost you a dime. Okay? If your why sounds like this, well, I want to help a whole lot of people become independent, and it'd be nice if I could put a little money away for my family too. That's not a why, y'all. That's not a why. There's no emotion in that. There is no emotion in that. I have never shared my real, true, number one why with anybody, because when I read it to myself, I get choked up and have tears. So I can't imagine sharing it with the public. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. Now, why is that important? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why it's important. Because although what I just said as a why sounds good, it sounds good, right? It sounds like something worthwhile moving towards, right? Right? It does. It ain't going to get you through those 3, 4, 5, 6 hours past bedtime days. All right? It's not going to get you past the, oh my God, I have talked till I'm hoarse and I can't talk anymore days. Okay? It's not going to get you past, it's a holiday and everybody else is off, but you got a work day. Okay? It's not going to get you past the, I want to sleep in so bad I can't stand it, but it's Saturday and I have appointments and I got to get up and keep them days. Okay? It's not going to get you past all the adversity, all the challenges that are going to come your way. And let me just tell you something. If you're in business for yourself and you're not anticipating every single damn thing to go wrong, then you already are not in business for yourself, because you're living in a fantasy world. Everything is going to go wrong. Everything. Because it's not the way it's supposed to go. Okay? Because you've got to learn certain things to get where you're going. And so if it all just fell into place perfectly, you wouldn't learn anything. Your why has to be real. Okay? Your why. And there's some gurus out there that say, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. And you know, I used to think, God, that's so cheesy. But really, I'm not going to use that. But what I'm going to tell you is, if you don't get goosies, if you don't get something in the pit of your stomach, if your heart doesn't hurt when you think about or read your why, it ain't good enough. You're never going to get where you want to go. So what am I going to challenge you to do? It's simple. Spend some time with yourself. Spend some time with yourself. Oh, I know you're thinking, well, I got to build my business. It's important for me to talk to people. And I got to do this and I got to do that. You know what? You're so busy being busy, you ain't got time to build a business because you're too busy being damn busy. Do what you got to do. The first thing you have to do is identify your real why. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. And it can't be because I want to be rich. It can't be because I want to be wealthy. It can't be because I got to keep up with my friends. It can't be because, oh, that looks like a good business to be in. It can't be any of that. Okay? So if you can pick up your why card, and this is just one of my why cards, but if you can pick up your why card and you can read it and you don't feel your stomach churn, your heart doesn't ache, it doesn't hit you in the heart, it ain't good enough. Write it again. Write it again. And keep writing it. And keep writing it until you get there. And if you need help, then reach out to somebody you know, like, and trust. Okay? And say, this is my why. What do you think?
Well, I'll go ahead and jump into this. Okay? And it is personal, you know what I mean? But I'll say it. My actual why, it's not money. It's not helping people even. My why is escaping a very, very big family shadow. I've got generations of extremely successful people, and I have to uphold that. I can't just go be another judge. You know what I mean? I mean, really. I mean, you know, it's like that. You know? Go get elected to the Senate. Okay, it's been done. You know what I mean? So what's my why? You know what I mean? My why is to achieve more, to do more. Now, the mores that I want to achieve, I don't want to become that elected official. The only reason I would be to make changes. My whys, or my reasons, the things I want to do this are different than some. It's not making a lot of money. You know what I mean? Although money has to be in there, guys, and I know that sucks. But, you know, I want to build big things, build huge things. You know what I mean? I want to build corporations, umbrella corporations, and go, okay, we can do this, this, and this, and we'll incorporate this, this, and this, 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 and this. And this is a whole new ecosystem we just built, you know, and a whole new business ecosystem of business and agriculture and transportation and travel and, you know what I'm saying? And education, you know, I mean, big, big, big things. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. All these other things are just the things I'm doing to get there, or they're little parts of it, and that's it. So don't let yourself feel bad if your why is not the why that you think it should be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just doing this. I'm just going to go help these people because I want so-and-so to say they're proud of me. You know what? That may be a big enough why. You know what I mean? And I think that has to be looked at. You know what I mean? I mean, it can be that simple. You know what I mean? People search their whole lives for that. You know, and for that one person out there to say, hey, I'm proud of you. My mom called me and told me she was proud of me for the first time in years. I mean, hell, damn it, I can hardly ever remember. You know what I mean? About, well, when I got Nixon full time, actually. And, man, I've done all kinds of things in my life. I've made tons of money. I've lost tons of money. I've been married, divorced, had grandkids, not had grandkids. I paid her bills. You know what I mean? Seriously. You know what I mean? Not a one. But when I took, you know, full responsibility for my daughter completely, you know what I mean? She told me she was proud of me. You know what I mean? So that right there, but I didn't, that's not the why, though. I took responsibility for my daughter. I took responsibility for my daughter because what they tell us to do, I don't know. It's what we're supposed to do. That goes back to a Southern thing. You just do it. You shut up and do it. But what I'm saying is, don't let the why, the real core why down there, maybe, hey man, I want to get out of my parents' shadow, or out of my family's shadow, or I want to be bigger than Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And that could be the actual why. You know what I mean? It may not be because you want to help people. You just see this helping people thing as a good way to do it, and it makes you feel good to do it. Or you see this over here is a good thing to do it. A good thing to do it. Do you think I'm actually kidding about putting a railroad across Uganda? I think it's genius. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it would be really difficult to do, but you never know. The Chinese just paid for one in Kenya. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Nigeria just refused a loan from the Chinese because they were giving them too much money. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
You know, I mean, you think it's crazy to want to make the Uganda coin a cryptocurrency for them? You know, and guys, that's another thing. Speaking of railroads, there's been tokenized economies before. It was everybody that worked for the railroad.
Right.
Really. It really was. I mean, they controlled it, but it's the same principle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It really is the same thing, you know, in a way. Not completely, but in a way. You know what I mean? I mean, it's completely centralized, but it's not the dollars. You know what I mean? It's just a credit system, and they go, here's your food tokens for the thing and your rent tokens for the things, because the way the railroads were built, which you had to travel with them. And so the camps moved and everything, and it was an arduous process. And now all you got to do is basically build like a little piece of track, and the train builds the track as it goes down it. Mm-hmm. The Swedish are geniuses, by the way. They came up with that. Or maybe the Finns. One of them. They're all right there together. But no, anyways, don't let your why may not be the why that you want. Your why may be the why that you want to tell everybody. You know what I mean? Your why, it may be so I can finally get over on Johnny from school, you know, because he stole my girlfriend. If that's your driving force, then go for it. You know what I'm saying? You need to find that thing that's at your core, but you never know what's going to be at your core. You know what I mean? You may not be as nice a person as you think you are when it comes down to it, you know, but that's okay. You know what I mean? You don't beat yourself up and destroy yourself by discovering yourself. Mm-hmm. Or don't let the discoveries you make about yourself hurt you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go, okay, and then learn it. If you want to try and become a better person, try and become a better person. I mean, but all of us fight every day with not hanging up that phone or kicking over that computer or slamming that door or throwing something at the television. Emotion doesn't make you a bad person. You know what I mean? We're proud of those. Now, we need to try and control them to some extent, but don't let it destroy you when you lose your temper every now and then. You know what I mean? That's a great deal of stress that creates. Now, if you were to sit next to me for a week and watch the things I watch on TV, little thing comes on about little kids, not having clean water or clean clothes or being able to eat. Man, I get tears start streaming down my face. I can't help it. I mean, I really do. It just happens. You know what I mean? But still, that's not my why.
Let me pause you for a second.
Bro. Yeah.
So here's the funny thing about that, right? So most people in their why, and I say most people, this is a generalized statement, so if it's not in yours, don't beat yourself up or whatever, but most people in their why, in their first attempt at writing their why, they'll say, I want to help people, right? Okay, that's a selfish goal. That's a selfish thing to ascertain, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. What that does is that identifies the fact that you have a servant's heart. Okay, so great, you have a servant's heart, but it goes deeper. It goes deeper than just helping people, because like Joe just said, we all, and they're about to start. If you guys have your TVs on, just prepare yourself to be plastered between now and the end of the year. And I would even go so far as to say after the first of the year, about midway into January, because now is when they're going to pull at everybody's heartstrings, okay? You're going to see the starving. You're going to see the ASPCA. Oh, yeah. You're going to see, the can we save the cats? You're going to see the whole 9 yards, okay? And really, what really irritates me about that, and I'm just going to get this little piece of laundry out while we're talking. What really irritates me about that is everybody has the ability to help all year round, but instead they decide to wait for that one little narrow time so they can feel better about themselves around the holidays. Stop it. Stop it. It's atrocious. Okay? If you don't want to help people on a daily basis, then don't write that. Okay? Don't put that in your why. Okay? Because helping people goes beyond changing their circumstance now. This is a coffee cup. I can fill it. I can also empty it.
Is that got an angel on it?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can fill it and I can empty it. These are two different states of being, full and empty. Okay? It's the same thing with people. Joe says, oh, look at the people on the TV. They need water. I need to get them some water. So you send some money. They got a little bit of water for a week, a month, a year. Okay? But you didn't change the circumstance. See, if you're really a servant's heart, if you're really the person that wants to truly help people, right? You got to go beyond now, next year. You got to go deep. Let's leave their kids better off, right? If you're not affecting generations, you're not truly helping the people. And it goes right alongside with what Joe said about $1 million not being enough, because $1 million is not enough. If you're going to change the world generationally, if you're going to be a servant's heart generationally, you need more than $1 million, y'all. Million ain't going to get you there. You're going to run out real fast. Trust me. Okay? Yeah, I'm a little passionate today. Yeah, I'm on a soapbox today. Yeah, I am backing Joe up today like nobody's business, because Joe and I think similarly in the fact that if you're going to make a difference that matters. Don't get the pat on the back. Oh, you sent some water to Nicaragua. Bless your heart. No, no, no. Fix it. Send them some water so they have something to drink right now.
Yeah.
But find out, why can't we use their water? Why can't we drill wells there? Why can't we filter their water? Why can't we make water plants there that's going to change their entire life for the rest of their being on this planet? Come on, y'all. Think big. Think big.
The amount of money donated to bottles of water to send, you know what I mean, is more than what it would cost to do it. To just drill the well.
Drill the damn well.
You know what I mean? Okay,
filter
I looked
the
into
damn
this.
water.
One of the most advanced water drilling rigs. One of the most advanced. I mean, the thing's almost completely automated. Which, it's not hard to drill a hole anyways, guys. I know people see this stuff. How do people do that? It's easy. You drill a hole, guys. It's just like a power drill on a truck. It's just big. You know what I mean? It's a motor turning and going in the ground. It's not a big deal. But the most expensive, nicest automated one is $1 million. That's a lot of money. But you know how many wells you could drill for that?
$1 million.
Now, if you give $1 million,
remember,
you take that $1 million,
y'all wanted to be millionaires. Hey, we just blew that out the water.
You go give it to Aid for Africa or Water for Africa or something like that. Okay, you know what they're going to do? Well, they're going to keep about 70% of it, and then they're going to buy some water bottles and send it to them. That doesn't help anything. They don't need water bottles. They need water filters. They need water pumps. Mm-hmm. Well, water pumps, they don't have electricity. What are they going to do with water pump? Get them some solar panels in. $189. $189 for a 125-watt solar setup from Harbor Freight. You know what I'm saying? That's us just buying it at the store. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, people. Most of these people that need help, they live, I was talking about this earlier today. They're not up to ancient Roman standards. Their standard of life isn't. They don't have running sewer systems. They don't have running clean water. You know why there's so many fountains in Italy? Because that's where they got water. That shit's gravity fed. They didn't have pumps even. Look, we got to have pumps. No, you don't. There's something called downhill, guys. There's fluid dynamics and things like that. But, you know, it's not their fault they don't know either. You know what I mean? They're like, we don't, you know, they dug water wells, you know, in Uganda right there. This place, we're talking about one particular place, you know. They dug water wells where they're full of water. They're 30 foot from the lake. That's not groundwater. That's lake water. It's not filtered and clean. They thought it was, though. I mean, you know what I mean? They're doing their best. You know, somebody went in and put a well in, put a damn hand pump on the thing. You know what I mean? They got buckets. So anything can fall in that water. You know, it's like, look, there's a reason water wells are sealed. You know what I mean? You're like, no, man. You know, there's a reason the water comes from a couple 100 foot underground. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. You may drill 30 foot down and hit a water table. You don't stop there. You keep going. You know, it's like, whoa, we got done. No, we're not. No, you got to keep going. You know, I mean, you get good pressure, you know, 18 a minute or whatever.
All right, everybody. Joe froze. You
Sorry.
froze, Joe.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm back. Sorry, I was getting technical.
It's 3:55, and I think
is,
that we actually went too far.
Oh, shoot. We covered it.
But remember this.
Sorry.
Remember this, okay?
Sorry.
Philanthropy, true philanthropy, okay, is not about making yourself feel good because you sent some water or you baked cookies and sent them to the soldiers for Christmas, okay? True philanthropy goes much, much deeper. So if you need some help with your why, if you need some help writing your why, then look up the word philanthropy and then figure out how you can be the best philanthropist possible and move from there, okay? Because I guarantee you, if you get your why card out right now and you look at it it's nowhere near what you really need or want it to be. Okay. So Joe and I appreciate you guys coming in. We appreciate you guys listening to everything that we had to talk about today. It seemed a little bit soapbox-ish at points for me, but at the end of the day, somebody needed to hear that, or we wouldn't have said it. Okay, somebody needed to hear it. What's that, Joe?
Yeah, it wasn't in my dollar dictionary either.
So, okay,
I've been looking everything up.
So, what we're saying is, with love, we can band together. Now, I may not know how to get to my why all by myself. But if I surround myself with people like Joe and Bethany and Stephen and Ken and Pam, and my list is huge, okay? I have a huge realm of people that I tap into. They don't know I'm tapping into them most of the time because they haven't put it together. But I tap into everybody because I need to know what they know because it helps me get where I want to go, okay? Then tap into your resources. All right? Joe's a resource. Bethany's a resource. Patty's a resource. There are all kinds of resources out there. Don't be ashamed. Don't beat yourself up. Please don't beat yourself up if you ask yourself, what is my why? And you can't put your finger on it. Okay? Sometimes you need somebody behind you going, okay, but why? And then you come up with something else. Okay, but why? And then you have to come up with something else, right? Like, it might take you 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Hell, who cares if it takes you 3 days? Okay? It's the best money you will ever spend. And there is one true currency in the world. One. It's called time. It's called time. Okay? So spend the time on yourself. Allow yourself to grow. I guarantee you, it'll be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And you'll see things start to happen and fall into place. All right? Joe, thank you for being the best co-host on the planet. Love you, brother.
Hey, thank you for being the best co-host on the planet. I didn't have any idea what we were going to talk about today. Shoot. I was just going to tell him the best talk about it's going to make him a millionaire overnight. Never mind. Said we're talking about being wonderful people.
Hey, we love you guys.
I love you guys.
We thank you.
See y'all later.
We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Hope we didn't get on our soapbox too much.
Have a great day.